We're back on the Spartanburgers pregame show. Hub City in Asheville, just around the corner. Thankful to be joined here by Roy Silver, part of the Rangers Mental Performance Department. Roy, thanks for your time.
Thanks for having me.
Your expertise is leadership and life skills, which comes after a 50-year-plus career in the game of baseball. What is it that you hope to bring to the Rangers and young Spartanburgers?
Well, 40-plus, but thank you for the 50. No, I bring whatever I bring is obviously my days on the playing field myself, but also many years of coaching all ages. I've coached girls softball, so I have a variation. I've been as high as the major leagues, and I've been as low as the Dominican Republic professionally, and I've coached Little League. It's been a great life, and I look forward to continuing that process.
What do you think are some of the life skills that the game itself teaches a player?
Well, baseball, especially offensively, there's a lot of failure. If you hit 3 out of 10 hits and you do that for 15 years, you might end up in the Hall of Fame. There's no other sport or probably anything else in life where if you're 3 out of 10, you're probably not very successful. You're going home. So that's one part of it. The pitching part of it is also it's become very technical, and some of the science that's come in is kind of it's helped us, but it's also hurt us in a way where sometimes we have to simplify that message, and sometimes we don't do a very good job of that. So that's something we're working on.
You've certainly developed a way with words over your baseball career, and also you have some of the old school skills still in your back pocket. You gave a full-on bunting lecture before coming over here to join us.
Yeah, I don't know if it was a bunting lecture or let's get the bunt down. Let's leave your ego at the door. These are team type things, and the bunt is coming back because of the pitching at the big league level has gotten really tough to hit. The bunt plays a big role. So from the top down, we need to instill that in our players.
That's Rangers mental performance coach Roy Silver with us on the pregame show. Roy, we've got young players here, 20 to 23. A lot of them have had a lot of success throughout the early stages of their professional careers. How do you help them with the ebbs and the flows, the ups and the downs of a 132-game season?
Well, obviously, when a young man is on an upside and he's riding a good wave, as we like to call it, you leave him alone. And then, you just kind of read the room, you read the dugout, and you go to where you're needed. And, there are times when everybody needs to be picked up. A lot of times it's just a lesson in life, or letting them know that, I've walked in your shoes, which I did, and it's hard. It's a hard game. If it was easy, we would all make it to the major leagues. Unfortunately, we don't. But the ones that can make it. But I prefer to think about the young man that doesn't make it. I want to make sure that he's prepared for life without baseball as a player, because that's over 90% of these guys don't play in the big leagues. It's a high number, but it's reality. So I really concern myself with all of them and just giving them some sort of a skill or a direction for when life, says it's time for you to do something else.
Who are some of the Spartanburgers that you've seen come through here over the past 2 seasons that you think have grown the most in their time in High A?
Well, it's Arturo Disla is a young man that struggled the first time through miserably last year. A bunch of different reasons, and together, and he alone went home in the off season, did some things to sharpen up his body, and also to sharpen up his hitting skills. And I'll tell you what, he came back this year and he has torn it up. He's in Double-A, doing a great job. And that's just, one of the examples of many. And that's why we do this. That's why we coach.
Rangers mental performance coach Roy Silver's with us on the pregame show. Roy, you mentioned your playing days with the Cardinals. What is something that a young Roy Silver could have started to learn from you as a mental performance coach?
Well, I was a hothead. I threw a lot of helmets, and I paid some fine money. I broke a few. Luckily, I didn't hurt myself or, more importantly, any of my teammates. But I had managers that were patient. So while I was being a hothead, I also learned how to be patient, forgiving, and showed some mercy and grace.
And you've come a long way. 10 years ago, you won Rangers Developmental Person of the Year. What does that honor mean to you?
It means a lot. It was a year where we were, as a big league team, we were going to the playoffs, and I was actually able to be a part of it as a coach. for a short period of time. It's always an honor to win anything of the year, but you can't win those honors without the help of your peers. And I get to work alongside all of our managers, our coaches, and our players. We're nothing without the players, so it's all about them, and they're the ones that have to respond positively. We have this information for them. We have some wisdom, and we just sit back and watch and hope that they can carry out the wisdom on the field as well as off the field.
And still plenty of games left to go. Over half the 2026 season left. Roy, what's one thing that you and the rest of the mental performance department want to help impart on these players as we get through the All-Star break and towards the dog days of the season?
Well, this team here is a lot better than they're playing in terms of record. They've done a lot of good things. I think the offense is in a good direction. If we can tighten up some of the pitching, and there's always changes being made. The draft is coming, so you're going to get young pitchers coming from below. It's just a nature of the beast. This team, I think, is in a good position to make a run at the second half. We're out of the first half, but the second half is something that's kind of nice to have a fresh start. And Carlos Maldonado, the manager, does an excellent job with his staff as well as the coaches. So we're looking forward to some good things.
A fresh start with a lot of upside ahead. Roy, really appreciate you joining us. Thank you for your time.
Thanks for having me.
We'll be back in a moment on the Spartanburgers pregame show with starting lineups and first pitch.